Welcome to this Corvic AI demo. In this walkthrough, I'll show how Corvic can automate KYC and AML compliance for global banks. From ingesting customer identity documents from multiple jurisdictions, to validating document provenance and relevancy, flagging compliance gaps, and maintaining an audit trail. This is critical for compliance and risk teams at multinational financial institutions. Today, when a customer opens an account, they submit identity documents from different countries. One customer might submit a passport from the UK, a utility bill from Singapore, and a lease agreement from the United States. Each jurisdiction has different rules about what documents are acceptable, how old they can be, and what information must be extracted. Right now, this process is largely manual. A compliance officer needs to receive the documents, check the customer's application history, review which documents came from which system, verify that each document meets the jurisdiction's requirements, check document freshness, validate that extracted data matches across documents, flag mismatches, and then maintain a record of what was approved and why. That takes time, it creates bottlenecks, and it introduces compliance risk because requirements vary by jurisdiction and can be missed. With Corvic, we can turn that fragmented manual process into a controlled, AI-powered compliance workflow. We will start with a data room configured for KYC AML governance. A data room connects systems, documents, and agents needed for a specific compliance process. Let's review what data we have. First, we'll look at jurisdiction requirements. These are varied rules by country that govern if a document can be accepted. We have compiled this into a CSV file, and we can review this. For example, in Singapore, the utility bill, which can be used as an address proof, must not be more than 180 days old. Similarly, the utility bill in US needs to be less than 30 days old for it to be accepted. So there are varying rules for different countries, and we have compiled this into a CSV file. Secondly, we have already read this CSV file and compiled them further into a skill. The idea being that this can be then easily deployed. For example, here's a rule about the utility bill, not being older than 180 days for Singapore. Now all of this information is neatly compiled into a document governance skill. This skill is now available at the rule. Let's review what are the documents submitted. For customer Sarah Johnson, we have certain documents available in our room. These are PDF files, which are already loaded. We have a credit card statement, a lease agreement, a utility bill from Singapore, and another utility bill from the US itself. We will look through these bills and PDFs and figure out which of the documents are valid. And can we pick an address from this document and save it as the standard address for this customer? Let's get started. We have already built a workflow where we extracted the customer documentation. So these are the PDF files. They have been digitized. So the first step in this workflow is to digitize this document. And in this step, the documents are converted to Markdown. We also applied an ASTM API. In this case, we asked the AI to look through each document and understand the customer name involved, the contact number, address, and what kind of document is this. Let's jump to the final result. And you can see, for example, the first line here is a lease agreement typed as residential tenancy agreement for Sarah Johnson. We have a document, which is a credit card account statement, and we also have a utility bill from Singapore. So we have now different documents parsed for this customer. This will serve as foundation for our analysis. Let's first analyze the Singapore lease agreement using the document governance scale. Does this document qualify as an address proof in Singapore? Corvic has now loaded the scale that we have available in the room. It is now going through the data that we have already prepared in the workflow. It is also going to read the images in the PDF file to extract any further information it needs to make sure that it is able to answer this question clearly. Corvic has finished its analysis. It has extracted all relevant details about Sarah Johnson from the document, and then it has applied the Singapore address proof rules. What is the result? It is a fail. This is because a residential tenancy agreement is not considered as an address proof under Think KYC requirements. While that document may be useful for things like a mobile number or any other information, as far as address is concerned, this document does not qualify. Okay, would the address in the credit card statement, which has been submitted by the customer, qualify? Maybe that's a good source of address. Now, Corvic will again go into our workflow, figure out the record, figure out the image involved, read everything, and then do the analysis required. It is also going to read the skill, where we have the rules about the acceptability of addresses already stored. Great. Corvic has finished its process. It has extracted all the data from the document, and here is the result. There are 2 points at which this document is not accepted. One is the credit card statement, and it does not qualify as an address proof under US governance rules. And second is the document itself is quite old. It is not less than 30 days. Okay, let's now move to the Singapore utility bill. Would this qualify? Corvic analyzes the document as well as the rules and finally comes up with the status as pass. That is because it is a primary accepted document type in Singapore. It is only 28 days old, and this is a regulation under the approved option. With this, we have arrived at an address that can be selected for all further purposes. We can now save this entire thing as a repository. Here's the preview. You can see that there were 3 documents reviewed. One of them qualified as address proof and 2 disqualified. You can see the address which was selected and also a summary of what was qualifying for what reason, right? As well as what did qualify and the rationale behind it. This is now available for the rest of the enterprise to do any further downstream processes. This entire process can now run automatically whenever the customer's KYC status needs to be reviewed. In just a few minutes, we have gone from a manual, fragmented compliance process to an automated, jurisdiction-aware KYC workflow. The value is not just speed, it's about creating a consistent, auditable, risk-controlled process that helps compliance teams reduce manual document review by catching standard validation failures automatically. And also enforce jurisdiction-specific rules consistently across all customers, including where critical boundaries like the type of document, such as credit card statement versus bank statement, is met. All mismatches are flat, all gaps are highlighted, and the audit trail is clearly visible. This is where Corvic goes beyond simple document readers. Corvic turns a scattered customer document into a validated jurisdiction-mapped compliance evidence. This completes the demo. To see Corvic in action, go to corvic.ai.